See, the difference between a black woman dating a white man and a black man dating a white woman is that when black women are on the other side, we still are fucking black queens. You hear me? We still on our throne. But when y'all get y'all ass over there to that white lady, y'all become pets.
Black women have two different filtering systems with how they view interracial relationships. When Kamala Harris ran, most black women, that was never on their radar. They didn't even care. They were so focused on supporting her and believing because she went to HBCU, that counts, that the idea of she being dismissed because of who her spouse was with, that wasn't even the furthest thing from their mind. If Barack Obama had ran and his wife was white, would he have gotten that much support from the black community, specifically black women? And then when it comes to black men, especially men with money, men that they want, and even some men that they never did want, they will now have all this energy that they don't have for those ladies.
Here on TikTok, I've never noticed how many white women love black men. And if you don't believe me, just go look at my page. There are white women all over the place who are waiting for single black men.
It's gonna sound so ridiculous and so white girl-ish.
Let me hear it.
But I would say I've been like this basically since I knew I was attracted to men.
Yeah.
That I kind of was attracted to a darker skin color.
Say that again. What kind of skin color was you attracted to?
A darker skin.
Black man, we win again. We are the superheroes on earth.
I used to play soccer, right?
Okay.
And there is not a lot of black men in Denmark.
Right.
We have a little bit, but it's not like here.
It ain't American black.
No.
It ain't the same.
At all. So, like, looking back, I'm like, where did I get this, like, itch from?
Damn, it's an itch. Ooh, can I scratch it? Toss up.
It is.
This lady actually proved that, yes, indeed, according to her, once a white woman goes black, she's never going back.
What about him? Is he like someone that's your type?
I don't like white men.
Why not?
I just never found them attractive.
So what's your preference?
Dark skins, redhead.
Okay, so what made you go dark?
My first boyfriend just like happened to be black, and like after that I just, didn't go back.
Talk to them and don't let them stay within their race. Black men are choice. They will usually choose black women.
Yeah.
They usually will choose black women. Or if they go to other races, it's because she has black women features. It's not really because, so they love their blackness. It's just that we all love your blackness.
What kind of man are you looking for in America?
Black.
Why do you like a black man versus a Turkish man?
Because the black men are so masculine, so gentlemen. I'm not dating with Turkish guys.
Why not?
I don't like dating with them. No, I'm waiting with American guys.
Why do you want an American guy, not a Turkish guy?
They are so masculine. I don't like Turkish men. They are so jealous. They can accept me who I am. They are not my type.
Bro, you're black.
Yeah, I am black.
I like it.
You like it?
Mm-hmm. I'm black as well.
You're black as well?
Yeah. Valentina. I'm from Sweden, but I'm originally from Morocco. Only been with black boys.
I think black people is more, I think they are more emotional intelligence, has this sense of humor, and I think dating black man would be great because based on what I saw on the internet, they are good people.
If you could only date one black American, black British, black Canadian, or black African, which one are you picking?
Black American. Because they have big
I think that black women can better support black men by not judging them by their accolades or acts of service. I think that we need to look at black men beyond their earning capital, because we are living in a country that is systematically trying to oppress black men financially. A black man may never be able to step into my shoes and do what I do and make what I make. Don't fall for what they're trying to do to make you feel like your man ain't if he don't have what you have or he don't make what you make. I think that the first way we could better support black men is stop looking at their pockets before their characters. Hard for them to stay mad at me now.
We tell women, if you really want to know that man, study him like your life depended on it.
Anything I can do for you.
Whatever needs to be done.
It's my job to know you. It's my job to know what moves you, what causes you to tick, what doesn't. It's my job to know when you're feeling a particular way, and I can hear it in your voice. It's my job to know those things.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rucha HaKodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to the other elders, you brother and you fellow believers of this truth. Shalom to you brothers and sisters that support the truth. Shalom to the elect. Anyway, I want to touch on this video here. First off, to start off, the Israelites are the salt of the earth, right, as the scriptures say. And we're not just talking, when you say black man, so-called black man, we're not talking about the Hamites, the lip plates and the bones going through their nose. Not those type of men. You're talking about the Israelite men. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm going to keep it in that construct, so to speak, because you got some of our people who look white. Some of the black women who have messed with white-looking men, some of them had flavor. But what I've seen lately, passing by the camp, is always the so-called black woman with these crazed-looking Edomites. So, yeah. So this woman says they remain queens. You know what that means, right? We know queen means whore, it's spelled different. But another terminology for queen means wife. And this is absolutely truth. Because they're more submissive to Esau, right? They flip to who they're supposed to be. Because that's their lover. They learned that from white Jesus and everything they saw white that was great on television. They learned that from the money that they seen with the face of the white man on that. See what I'm saying? And the so-called black men become pets, according to these women, because they're not in turmoil. And that's what these women want. They want men in turmoil. So if I'm going to be with a woman, if I take an Edomite concubine or a white woman that's an Israelite or whatever the case is, and that's going to bring me peace, why the hell not? Then, according to them, I'll be a pet then. Although I'm going to rule my home. Now, what I am going to do, I'm going to read this real quick. But I'm going to give a little testimony that there is proof from what I've seen in my eyes, right? What I see in my eyes, that we are the salt of the earth. I didn't know what was happening to me when I was younger. I just thought it was weird. Deuteronomy 28:56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not venture to set a sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, meaning to be what a woman is supposed to be, like in the book of Titus, the 2nd chapter. Loving woman, caring woman. And at the end, this woman was bringing out how we're financially oppressed. Now, I brought this out at camp of how they have this budget for everyone. You know, the economy, there's a budget. But what they do is they get these accelerated careers, and they get these women these degrees, and they go work these jobs, and they make more money than men. Although these overpaid jobs, they don't deserve as much as these men are working, digging up the ground, keeping the infrastructure going, taking up fecal feces out of the ground. You see what I'm saying? So they fund them, give them degrees, then they get these $30,000, $50,000, $60,000 loans, and then Esau gets it right back from them and tax them on it. Then the money that they make from these jobs and these careers they get, they put it back into the economy, and they go buy cars, and they go buy a house, and they buy a bunch of clothes, jewelry, anything that fits their needs. Okay? But meanwhile, Jake, they'll say, I've witnessed this. There's Jiffy Lube. I didn't work there, but I'm in that field. Or let me say, Jiffy Lube, the auto parts store. They'll have women working in those stores. And they'll have them as managers. making more money than the men that actually know about cars. And then they'll tell a man to go climb up and get all the heavy stuff. The alternators, the radiators, anything heavy, the starters, anything heavy that they don't want to lift up or can't lift up, they'll get the man to do. Get the water pumps. Get the axles. Get anything that weighs something. These women will not do it. But they'll pay these women more money for less labor. That's oppression. And Esau the devil, he's the one pushing that. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, this woman says that you become, let me go to Ecclesiastes 7. That the man becomes like a pet. Yeah, because these women want men like animals, you know? They want you arguing and fighting, you know, spin kicking. You know what I'm saying? They want to just give you hell. Anyway, let's go to Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift that showeth the heart. A lot of you jakes got these women. It destroyed you. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. And this is what these women will do. They'll lay with you and get with you and marry you. And then they don't want you to mess with nobody else, although they mess with you while you was with other women. That's a snare and a net with them telling you where your rod is supposed to go. These are all traps. They're all traps. You know what I'm saying? And you women, you need to read a little bit more and get understanding. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7. This is what you should be reading. Sirach 26. No wonder they didn't want this in the Bible. And when I was a little testimony, I was younger, lived in a group home. Like 12 years old. And I couldn't believe how much the Edomite women loved us, man. Couldn't believe it. Me and my brother, we went in there together. There's all these Edomites. They literally called us kings. They called us black kings. Now, mind you, they 12 or 13 themselves. Is it something we missing out? Is it something that they were taught, that they were told not to tell us? Before a so-called black woman ever called me a king, a white woman, so-called white woman did. We would play basketball, right? We would run around, play basketball, and I would go get certain drinks. There was a certain protein shake I like, a strawberry protein or chocolate shake after playing. It was young. This back in 82, 83, something like that, years ago. It was a different time back then. And the white woman would go notice that what I like to drink from day in and day out of me playing basketball. So I'll come back and they'll have it sitting right there for me. And I didn't even know their name. I'm not even going to tell you the other stories of how they dropped down in front of me. That's another story. I'm just telling you what I witnessed. You know what I'm saying? Those are testimonies, man. Even in the truth. Before, when I first came in, we used to have the Edomites tell them they're going to be concubines and certain things. We got a lot of mail behind that from Edomites that said they deserve it. They want to be concubines. Because some of them could be Eves, and depending on how they grew up. I don't know. The bottom line is you Eves going to have to bow down to us too to some degree. You're going to have to worship us too. And see, a lot of you Eves, you don't realize who you really have. Who these men are that's out teaching this truth. I'm just speaking in general. They tried their hardest to degrade us through their rap, through their music, through their entertainment. Denzel couldn't even get an award unless he played a crazy Negro. But what this did do, you saw the rap videos, what this did do is make the woman more intrigued, these other nations. Anyway, let's go to Sirach 26. I'm not going to make this long. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to virtuous, which goes from virtuous. See what it says. And I don't think we'll find that today, but just for the fact of it, you got to try to be the best you can be, whether brother or sister. You got to try to be the best you can be, follow the laws to the best of your ability. If you're a woman, be the best woman you could possibly be, because you got to understand a lot of these Eves, no matter what, even in the truth, they may have a problem with men, you know, because I remember IUIC said, it was a woman of IUIC when I did a video. She said, this is why I like IUIC, because you can only have one wife. See, she didn't like IUIC because she knew they had the truth. She liked them because they said you can only have one wife. Again, that's going back to Solomon calling women snares and traps. That's her trying to trap men, and they're using Bishop Nathaniel to do it. It says virtue, vigor, strength, full of vitality, having qualities benefiting, right? Like we're supposed to have virtue, you know? Let me go on back. So if you're a virtuous woman, you're supposed to amplify being a woman. You're supposed to amplify that. You know, your man like this, you find out what he like, and you be part of it. Anyway, let's go back. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. These are women all over the internet. This is what they're doing. They're all over the internet, gathering abroad. Right? Let me go here. Yeah, drunken. It don't necessarily mean they drink, but they're in false philosophy. They stumbling. What come out of their mouth is not even woman-like, so to speak. Damn, we got really screwed up as a nation, but the Lord did it. And all it took is to remove the men, and that left the women with nobody to guide them. That's like letting children run wild. They're responsible enough to go to work and come home, but there's no leadership. What's going to happen when things get tough? Right now, sure, you can go to the shop and spend the money to get your car fixed that the white man paid you, and you're going to put it back into the system, sure. To get your pipes fixed in the house, well, you're going to put it back in the system. But even if you can't do that, and your husband can't do that, he should be the one to be able to guide you, make the proper decisions to save you money, which is more beneficial for the household. But women ain't trying to hear that because they're independent. How's that working out for that black woman in the beginning? Said they become black queens. So why don't white men don't want them? Because I'm thinking, like, if I look at a nation and all the women don't want them, why the hell would I mess with them? Anyway, if I see a Moabite woman abusing Moabite men on a high level, what the hell would I want to mess with them for? She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler on the job to job, when he had found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. I actually read up on that. Some scholars was going into that, how they were saying that there were literal women in the field causing interference in battle. And they would sit behind a rock, and a man will walk up, and he'll look down and she'll have her legs open, and he'll just drop his spear. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever weapon he has to go lay with the woman. I actually read that, so don't know how true that is, but it makes sense. So this is the same thing in the truth. When you out in battle, you're working, trying to do the Lord's work. And I noticed it with certain brothers that women get them all messed up and they start calling out, not wanting to come to camp because I can't prove it, but I knew you had just got this woman, so why you can't make it to camp now? Those are the ones who are them harlots. You know what I'm saying? Well, practicing harlotry behavior. Those are the ones that you have to watch out for. And that's what brings me back to Ecclesiastes 7:26. There's snares and traps. Anyway, let's go to 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift from the Lord, and there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. So are you women willing to have your mind well instructed? And are you men, are you humbling these women to get to that level so they can have their mind will be open enough to be instructed? I have talks with that about Jake. That's a different kind of conversation. But anyway, verse 25, 24. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reference a husband. Now, where I got that video from, this guy was saying there's white women that do it. It's not a race-based thing. No, this is an Israelite thing. Some of them women aren't actually white. And then some of them may be Edomites. Again, the curses are returning on them, as Deuteronomy 30:6 say. This whole nation is spoiled. All these women, they want to keep the so-called traditional, which is not even traditional, of a man taking care of them. If you want to be traditional, and you want a man to take care of you, then he should have many women as he wants. He should be able to have any man that he can take care of. What I learned is that the poorest people, the Hispanics in certain nations that are poor, that bundle up in the house together, they have less divorce rate. They're happier together because they don't let money control them. And a black woman is about money because she had enough help with the system and their weak-ass fathers raising them to be men. The average black woman now that got a father, they done raised them to be men. I would never raise a daughter, if I had one, to be a man. You're going to be a woman. And then a woman is there, that her job is really to raise the woman to be a woman. But how many women are going to raise these women to be women? You know what they raise them to do? They raise them to slut around, use Christianity, get repentance, get in a white dress, walk down the aisle and get married, although they slept with 50 men, then tell the father, stand up and give the daughter away, which he gave herself away 300 men prior, and then the woman get mad that you look at other women, although she had 300 men. So it's just not fair, right? So the whole time, the woman played the harlot, especially the black woman I'm talking about. She played the harlot, then she wants to settle down after multiple rods being inserted. Multiple. And somebody's the best, and she's going to think of that guy. This is why the Lord said in Leviticus, if you humble your neighbor's wife, right, you are to be put to death, and she's to be put to death because she's no more good. What it mean by humbling? Look that up. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, and that's what you saw with the woman. She represents Israel, the Israelites right now, the Israelite so-called black woman. Not all of them. And then that man had a point. I've been saying before. The reason why black woman voted for Kamala Harris and the simp black men that voted for it, they just followed their women behind the votes. That's all. It's because Kamala Harris represented taking down the so-called black man by being with a white Jewish man. That's who she represented. And this is why the black woman loved her. Because we're the enemy. You got to remember, the so-called black woman is merged with Esau, right? She's beguiled by Eve. He's beguiled her, right? As the snake, the serpent, beguiled her. So they're together. Their job, right, is to ruin you, crush your spirit. But you got to ban a sect of certain men that's not under that false Christianity, effeminate vibration, that's not going to accept that, right? Anyway, a woman that is A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. A loud crying woman, right, and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. This is crazy, man. But anyway, that's all I have.